Some dangers feel like death, others feel like desire. Claire Morgan never believed in signs, yet the night they began, she could swear the world was trying to whisper something directly to her. It started at 2:13 a.m., a time no good thing ever calls. Her phone lit up on the nightstand, vibrating once, then again. A number she didn't recognize. Seattle rain hammered against her apartment windows, tapping like impatient fingers. Claire pushed her hair back, blinking away sleep. She felt her chest tighten before she even reached for the phone. Unknown caller, no voicemail, yet. She let it ring out, assuming wrong number, but when her phone buzzed again 30 seconds later, same number something. Inside her turned cold. Then came the third call, and the fourth. When she finally answered, breath trembling, the line wasn't empty. It was breathing. Slow. Uneven. Mellow. Her voice cracked. Who is this? No answer. Only breathing, ragged and distant, as if the caller was struggling to speak through water. Her heart thudded painfully as she whispered, "Hello." But then, a soft click. Silence. Claire dropped her phone onto the bed, forcing her lungs to expand. PTSD made normal things hit harder. She knew this. She told herself this was nothing, just a sick prank. Yet her hands shook uncontrollably. She turned on her bedside lamp and froze. The screen lit up again. One new voicemail. Her stomach twisted. She pressed play. At first just static. Then, so faint she almost missed it, a voice. A man's whisper. "Claire, stay out of the dark." Then the message cut. Claire's breath vanished. How did he know her name? She grabbed her robe and paced the room, every shadow suddenly feeling like it held someone she didn't want to see. She checked her locks twice, then a third time. Sweat glistened on her palms. She sat down, hugging her knees. She didn't want to call the police again. They knew her too well. Too many panic calls since the break-in last year. Too many nights when trauma hit her like a fist. She whispered to herself, "It's just a prank. Get it together." But the fear didn't listen. She needed air. Almost without thinking, she went to her balcony door, sliding it open. Cold Seattle air rushed in, stinging her skin and easing the pressure in her chest. She closed her eyes. That's when she sensed it. A presence, someone watching her. Claire's eyes snapped open. Across the courtyard, partially hidden under the dim security light, a figure stood on the opposite balcony. Tall, still, like he'd been carved out of the night. Her breath stuck. The figure wasn't moving, but he was facing her, watching her. A jolt of fear shot through her. Then the figure stepped into the light, and her heart did something strange. It skipped. It wasn't a stranger. It was Ethan Hale, the quiet, serious man who moved into the building 3 months ago. The one who kept to himself. The one whose eyes always felt like they could see thoughts instead of faces. He raised a brow, concerned. "Claire, you okay?" She swallowed, nodding too quickly. His presence unnerved her, not in a bad way. In a pull you closer even if you shouldn't kind of way. Nightmare, she lied. He studied her for a long moment, hands in his pockets. Shoulders relaxed but gaze sharp. Ethan didn't smile often, but when he did, or almost did, it felt like something dangerous. "Thought I heard your door earlier," he said. "You sure everything's fine?" His voice, low, steady, grounding, made her exhale a breath she didn't know she was holding. "I'm fine," she whispered, but he didn't look convinced. Ethan stepped closer to the railing, the soft glow from the light hitting his cheekbones. Rain clung to his hair, making it curl slightly at the ends. Claire's heartbeat stuttered. Why did he have to look like that? Like danger wearing warmth. Claire, he said quietly. You look scared. Her throat tightened. I just got a call. A weird one. His eyes narrowed instantly. The way his expression changed, calm to alert, sent a flutter down her spine. A man who reacts like that doesn't react for no reason. What kind of call? He asked. She hesitated. Someone said my name. Ethan's jaw worked. Did you see the number? Unknown. He cursed under his breath. She blinked. She had never heard him cuss. He took one more look at her trembling hands. Hold on, he said, disappearing inside his apartment. Before she could think too hard, he was standing at her door. Close. Too close. His scent, fresh rain, cedar, something masculine she couldn't name, wrapped around her. Her stomach twisted. He stepped inside without her having to ask. Something about Ethan always felt like he belonged in a room, even when he didn't. He scanned her apartment slowly, deliberately, like a man assessing threats. Her breath caught when he stepped back toward her. He wasn't touching her, but it felt like he was. She whispered, Ethan, what are you doing? I'm making sure you're safe. Her heartbeat fluttered wildly, catching panic and something softer, deeper. Why? She whispered. He met her eyes. Because I wouldn't sleep if I didn't. Heat rushed up her neck. For a second, just a second, his gaze flickered down to her lips. Then the phone rang again. Claire jumped. Ethan's hand instantly wrapped around her wrist, steady, firm, pulling her behind him as if protecting her with his body. The warmth of his skin jolted through her so deeply she forgot how to breathe. He answered the call. Who the hell is this? Ethan's voice dropped, dangerously quiet. Silence. Then, the same breathing. Ethan's eyes darkened. He moved the phone closer to his ear, jaw clenched like he was listening to every grain of sound. Then, Claire. The whisper came again, but this time, he can't protect you from me. Claire froze. Ethan's grip on the phone tightened. Who are you? Ethan snapped. What do you want? But the caller had already hung up. Claire's knees weakened. Ethan caught her elbow instantly, holding her up. His hands stayed there longer than necessary, maybe even intentionally. You're shaking, he murmured. She swallowed hard. I don't know what's happening. Ethan stepped closer, his chest just inches from hers. Warm, solid, too comforting. His thumb brushed her elbow in a slow, unintentional stroke. Or maybe it wasn't unintentional. His voice dropped. I'm not leaving you alone tonight. Her heart slammed against her ribs. You don't have to, she whispered. He met her eyes, and this time the look was unmistakable. Raw, protective, dangerously tender. I want to, he said softly. Claire's breath shuddered. He guided her to the couch, sat beside her close enough she felt his warmth. He talked to her gently, grounding her. They shared little pieces of their fears. He told her he knew what it was like to lose sleep to the past. His voice held something broken she'd never noticed before. Their knees brushed. She didn't move. He didn't either. Eventually, she drifted into uneasy sleep, leaning against him. He didn't move from his spot. Not even once. Stalled. The next morning, something felt different. Peaceful. Like she wasn't alone in her own skin anymore. Ethan had left a note on her table. Went for coffee. Locked the door behind me. I'll be back. He wasn't her boyfriend. He wasn't even her friend. Not really. But something was shifting between them. pulling them together like gravity. Later that day after work, Claire checked her phone. Another voicemail. Her pulse spiked. When she played it, her blood froze. The voice whispered, "You let him in. He won't save you, but he'll die trying." Her breath hitched. This wasn't random. This was personal. She rushed to Ethan's door. He opened it immediately, as if he'd been waiting. When she showed him the voicemail, something inside him snapped. "Claire," he said, grabbing his jacket. "No, we're going to the police." "No," she whispered. "They'll think I'm spiraling again." Ethan stepped close enough she felt the heat of him. "Look at me." She did. His voice softened. "I believe you. I always did." Her chest tightened painfully. He said it like it meant something bigger than the moment. He took her hand. First accidentally, then deliberately. Her skin tingled. He squeezed her fingers gently. "I'm not letting anything happen to you. Do you understand?" She nodded, throat tight. He didn't let go of her hand as they walked to his car. Stalled. The investigation dragged on. The calls got worse. Voicemails mentioning details no stranger could know. Her nightmares, her routine, her childhood town. And through it all, Ethan stayed. Every night, every storm, every trembling moment. He made her tea when her hands shook too-eyed. He sat beside her until she stopped panicking. He learned the rhythm of her breath. He memorized her tells. He knew when she was about to break. Sometimes she caught him looking at her with something deep, conflicted, almost desperate. Sometimes she let her eyes linger too long on him. His hands, his quiet strength, the way he said her name. They never kissed. They barely touched, but the tension lived in every shared breath. It felt like the kind of slow burn that wasn't meant to last forever. It was meant to ignite. Stalled. Then came the night everything shattered. Claire returned home early. Rain fell in sheets, turning the city into silver blurs. She unlocked her door and froze. Her living room lights were on. She never left them on. She stepped inside hesitantly. That's when she saw it on her coffee table. Her phone. Screen cracked. Still warm. Someone had been here. Her breath came in gasps as she stepped back. A whisper echoed behind her. "Claire." She spun. A shadow moved in the hallway. Then a man stepped out, tall, hollow-eyed, smile twisted, the voice from the calls. She couldn't scream. Terror clamped around her throat. "You shouldn't have let him get close to you." The man whispered. "He ruined everything." Claire stumbled back. He moved closer.
"You were supposed to be mine."
Her knees nearly buckled. Then the apartment door slammed open. "Claire!" Ethan's voice thundered. He rushed in like a storm, grabbing the man, slamming him to the ground. The intruder fought, but Ethan moved with a terrifying precision. Not anger, not panic, purpose. By the time police arrived, the man was pinned and begging. Ethan didn't let go of Claire's hand once. Stalled. Hours later, after statements and flashing lights, they returned to her apartment. Claire stood against the wall, trembling. Ethan approached her slowly, like she was made of fragile glass. "You're safe now," he murmured. He reached up, brushing away a tear with his thumb. Her breath caught. Something in his eyes broke open. Raw emotion, unguarded, unfiltered. "I thought I lost you," he whispered. Her voice shook. "You saved my life." He stepped closer, chest rising with uneven breaths. His hand cupped her jaw. Warm, careful, reverent. "Claire." Her name sounded like a confession. She leaned into him. "Just slightly." "Barely." But he felt it. His forehead touched hers. Their breaths tangled. Slow burn tension. Weeks of it. Finally breaking. He whispered, voice trembling. I've wanted to kiss you since the night you opened your balcony door. Her eyes fluttered. Then kiss me, she breathed. Ethan did.
Slow.
Gentle, but devastating enough to erase every nightmare she'd ever had. His hands framed her face. Her fingers gripped his shirt. He kissed her like she was the safest and most dangerous thing he had ever touched. And Claire kissed him back like she had been waiting her whole life. When they finally pulled apart, breathless, foreheads touching again, Ethan whispered, "You're not alone anymore." Not ever. Claire smiled through her tears. For the first time in a long time, the fear was gone. Only warmth remained. Only him. Only them. What the author says, some dangers scream, others whisper. Claire thought she knew fear until it found her in the dead of night.
But fear isn't always the end of a story.
Sometimes it's the spark that pulls two people together in ways they never imagined. Ethan didn't just step into the shadows to protect Claire. He stepped into her world, the part she thought was broken forever. And in the quiet moments between heartbeat and panic, desire and danger, they found something stronger than fear, something dangerously real. So when you hear a whisper in the dark, or feel your pulse spike at the thought of someone you shouldn't trust, remember the heart has a way of chasing danger, and sometimes the very danger that terrifies you is the one that saves you.